My name is Emmanuel Iboke.
My name is Titi Kuti.
And my name is MC Morris.
And this is going to be the very first episode of Hot Mic Live.
Right.
Yes, apologies for all the glitches and the time delay. I would say that if you want very clear streaming and sound quality, you can please go to MC Morris's Instagram page or Emmanuel's Instagram page or the Hot Mic Live Instagram page. You will have clear feed there. Today, technical issues will not allow me to join to be part of the congregation, but we move.
Yes, and if you are not satisfied with the technical issues, you can go to court.
You can go to court and get the mandate.
Yes. And like it is said, when a criminal tells you to go to court, it's either he knows someone in the court or he's the owner of the court.
You like that word? You're a criminal.
Yeah. So we are sorry about the technical issues. The beavers did not start working on time. So now that the beavers did not start working on time, we came out to say that we are sorry. For those that are not satisfied, you can now go to court and claim your money.
Absolutely. But I assure you that the technical issues will not affect what we are going to be posting on the YouTube page and the eventual content. This is just so that we can give you guys a live feeling of exactly what we're going to be doing.
Point of correction, not what will be not what will be pointing, not what will be posting on the YouTube page. It will not affect the results.
All right, so to the business of today, we promised to our fans an amazing conversation.
Talk about the election brouhaha.
Hey, and in case you don't know the meaning of brouhaha, brouhaha is a coordinated conjunction which is connected to an independent clause in a compound sentence.
Crew kaka.
Wow.
You are Patrick Obayagbo. We don't know who speaks English fast.
No, but that's a simple English.
Is that?
Yes, when you say brouhaha is an adverbial clause of reasoning. It's a figure of speech where exaggeration is deliberately used to lay emphasis.
It gets sense.
Okay.
Small though.
I rest my case because if we start on that topic, we know we talk election matter. So he avoid, what trouble he avoid.
If you say Maurice is wrong, you are right. If you say he's right, you are also right. So let's move on. All right, taking it off. The election brouhaha. A lot of people did not see so many things coming in this election, the outcome of the election. I believe a lot of people are still singing on the social media, LOP. So what is your take on this? Maybe Maurice, you can start with us. What is your take in this whole election? Are you satisfied, or you think INEC could have done better?
Yeah, like just like you said, INEC could have done better. I didn't. I'm not a graduate of law, but I have a little understanding of law. And under section 12, subsection 14, paragraph 2, verse 4 of the 1999 Constitution, it clearly stated there in the clause that what you promise the citizen must be actualized. So INEC came out and they told the people that they are using the beavers and that election will be uploaded at real time, that election results from polling units. Now, understand that in time past, where the problem has been is the fact that they cannot upload results from polling units. They have to take it to collation center. And the journey between from polling unit, the journey between polling unit and Collision Center
Many things can happen.
is the same journey that song came out from, that oh we're to Calvary.
for me.
It's a very long journey that so many things would have happened. So the same journey between polling unit and Collision Center is the journey from Owerri to Calvary. So that was the journey that they were trying to cut short. So instead of doing the journey, they would have just uploaded. But at the end of it all, they went back to the journey from Owerri to Calvary. And between the journey from Owerri to Calvary, so many things took place.
Wow.
So many things happened.
Wow.
And at the end of it all, the results. And you know, that's a very much important for results, because it is results that cancels insults. Oh God.
God. The bars they drop here.
Ladies and gentlemen, until you understand the process, you will be in recess. Am I making sense?
Small sense. Titi.
Well,
So,
But wait, so let's forget about the whole process of the election.
no,
wait. I'm not interested in the whole process of the election.
I'm saying nonsense.
Out of every
And then they
nonsense.
don't answer.
No, out of every nonsense, if you remove the none, there is sense. So you made a small sense. Okay, don't get me wrong. But now the election is done.
Yeah.
What is on ground now is the mandate. Do you think we are getting this? I don't know if you are among obedience or Tinubu, but do you think obedience are getting their mandates back?
See, it is not coincidental that it is called a mandate. Do you know why it is called a mandate? The word mandate is two different words. Number one, it's man, and the number two is date. That means if a man does not have a date, that means the man cannot have the mandate. You understand the connection of what I'm saying. If you do not understand the connection, that means you need a correction. And it is only Titi Kuti that can give you the correction.
Oh yeah, Titi, over to you, the correction.
well, I say, if we allow MC Morris unleashed today, because we don't know the kind of party when you drink before you come here. Oh no, because this all be Oyibo alcohol. This all la party, right? La party the arguments like this.
True.
But that's on the lighter note. On the more serious note, I would say, in my opinion, that the election had its gaps. Obviously, unfortunately, all we see, even all the receipts we see on social media, are being deemed as speculations, which is the reason why all concerned parties are going to court. But having said that, I would say I believe every democracy has been through this stage. And there's a reason I'm saying this, because I see there's lots of heightened tension. There's a lot of people that are on the edge, and all they need is somebody to light a match and everywhere goes up in flame. And that, in my opinion, will not be in the interest of anybody at all. I took a critical look at it. There are some democracies that are 300-400 years old that are still having these issues. Even some of the people that came as observers, I'm not going to mention the name of their countries before they will send special, but we know what went on in their own elections. So, but the thing is, they respected themselves. They said the election did not meet the standard of the citizens. If they had said it didn't meet the standard of democracy, I would have challenged them, because I was like, on what moral ground do you have to say this? We know what went on in your countries too.
True.
So, but it's unfortunate that the amount of with the level of expectation that a lot of people had, irrespective of candidates, there's largely proof of unfairness in so many places. On the other hand, I also think that I'm not going to call it a defeat for democracy, because what you have now is we have we have a candidate who, in the space of 11 months, was able to galvanize enough momentum to inspire people home and abroad to come from a place of non-relevance to being a key player in the Nigerian electoral space.
Remember, they said he has no structure.
So, well, we've heard arguments now that the structure they were talking about was rigged infrastructure. We said all sorts. You know, like I said, I didn't catch anybody rigging personally. I'm only working with the same receipts. That we see online and information that, you know, some parties are saying is speculation. Anybody who is aggrieved should go to court.
And information is the baseline for transformation.
Yeah, still.
According to John.
I said that family you drink, you must carry me good way. So that's my own perspective to it. Like, look at it on both sides. It's not entirely as unfortunate as it might seem. Like, this might have been an opportunity for. It was not an all-round loss. But democracy won in some areas, and I think I need to mention that so some nerves can be calm before it becomes an up in smoke situation.
Maybe Emmanuel will know Emmanuel can tell us the areas that democracy won, because left to me, see, you know, there's a very tiny line between election and selection.
Listen. One thing I've come to realize with this whole election is that democracy is gone in Nigeria.
Somebody said democracy won.
I think I'll disagree.
Said democracy is gone.
I think I'll disagree. You know why?
Why?
And the closest word, do not forget, the closest word to gone is gone.
That for me, please, the next episode you must bring that for me. Yeah, but on the most reasons, I'll tell you why I disagree with it.
Why?
So, the Labour Party went from a party that had no representation in government at all to having over 40 officers in high positions, including House of Rep and Senate. The only place we will say, and we still have governorship election that is ahead of us. You don't know what's going to transpire. There are people who they don't have, like, I can tell you that 80% of the Labour Party candidates, 80% of the Labour Party candidates that won in House of Rep and Senate are unknown people, and which is what Democrats are agitating for. Give opportunity to fresh people. So I don't think in the past 2 or 3 elections we have had this much switch from an unknown party. So that's why I'm saying I will not agree with you in totality, and it's not even over yet. Maybe the presidential, but look at what it has galvanized into. Okay,
let's put it this way, right? I get your point in terms of the new party that mobilized and, you know, came up, and it was, they didn't see it come. It's like a full force. But now, when I mean democracy is dead,
this guy had this song. They never see
Maurice, allow me to talk. Now, when I mean democracy is dead in Nigeria, the government is supposed to be government for the people. By the people, not government for the president or the governor. Now, for instance,
you need to have the definition. Government of the people, by the people, and for the people. That is democracy. According to Will Smith.
Okay. Now, for instance, the issue of the naira, the currency exchange.
Redesignation, the naira redesignation or whatever it's called.
Yes.
If they said there is democracy working in Nigeria and it's for the government, for the people, the people are agitating that they don't want this. People are dying. The governments are literally what kidnappers and assassins could not do. The governments are literally gradually doing it by killing people. A lot of people are dying hungry. You go to hospital, you're sick. Before you could even do transfer, probably the person is already in the mortuary. Before the doctor will confirm the transfer, there's no network.
Wait, there's something. before you can go to the hospital and they say they want to transfer blood to the patient. But before you could do transfer, you can transfer the person to heaven.
No, that's the thing. Parents no longer sleep at home. They end up sleeping in the ATM machine or even a fuel station just to get fuel. Like a lot of things are not going in the country. And
some sleep at work because they are doing overtime.
Exactly. A lot of these are not working, and the people are agitating that we don't want this. It's supposed to be government for the people, but now it's like it's government for Mr. President and INEC and the CBN governor.
Yes.
They are taking decision on their own, not regardless of what the people want.
So I'll tell you my take on the Naira redesigning. If it were to be transparent, it's not something that every other country hasn't done. Hold on. So you can understand me. So the difference now is, look, the United States pounds has been changed, I think 3-4 times in the past 40 years. But you see, the one that was legitimate 40 years ago, if you still have it now, the bank will still collect it from you. But once the bank collects it, it doesn't go back into circulation.
Right.
So the time frame that was given for it is what has caused this problem now. And it's also the reason why it's been suggested that it has been largely politicized, which I don't disagree with also. Because all of a sudden, the election is over and it's been reversed.
No, the thing is, I think the policy is not a bad idea.
Yeah.
But the way they went about it, I think what they could have done first is develop Nigeria. There are rural areas that don't even know what the governments are talking about.
Yeah.
It's just like bringing primary school students that doesn't even know anything and you're giving them algebra or engineering maths to solve when they don't even know 1 + 1.
It does not need, it is not something that needs more explanation. You can just say that the policy deserves policy.
It deserves what?
But back to what we are saying about the mandate. Back to what we are saying about the mandate. This is my own two cents, right? I think it's quite unfortunate that Obi will not get this mandate back. No. You know my reason.
Obi is a man and he has got it.
Listen. I know you're a hard die fan
and
of
obedient.
Yeah, you're an obedient. But the sad truth,
as Isaiah chapter 1.
Listen, let me.
You know what he says? He says, if you be willing and obedient, you shall eat the good of the land.
Let me tell you the sad truth here. In Nigeria, people are talking about taking the mandate back, quoting the write-up of this lady that you took a certificate of return, you return it back.
It's a question.
All of this, they are talking about this, but there is a problem we have in the judiciary. If the government can acquit somebody and somebody will say, no, keep the person, then Nigeria is done.
So,
no, wait, then Nigeria is done. Listen, the judiciary, there is a queue detached in the judiciary. There's a queue detached against judiciary, and people are not talking about it. In the case of Nnamdi Kanu, the court said, set this man free. And somebody said, the government said, no, keep him. What does that tell you?
But
there are three arms of government. There is executive, there is legislature, and there is judiciary. Now, one arm will come out and say the other arm is useless.
But do not
forget. How do we cope in a country like that? Now, if the Supreme Court can set someone free and the government say no, keep the person, and the Supreme Court cannot do anything about it and they are keeping quiet, what made you think that the same government that are in power will keep quiet and allow the Supreme Court take them? Mind you, the Supreme Court is APC.
No, do not forget that this same no. Hold on. Do not forget that this same man we are talking about is a beneficiary of the Supreme Court.
On the gubernatorial side. No. We are talking about presidential. Have you seen anybody? Wait, we hear situations in Nigeria where people go they take them off the gubernatorial side they won, and then they replace them by Supreme Court. That's okay. But we never see a history in Nigeria where they take president out and put another one. No.
The big question is,
Atiku did that in 2019.
No,
did Buhari leave?
No. The question.
No, that's what you need to tell yourself.
No.
PDP was in power for how many years?
2015,
16 years.
In 2015,
wait,
I can tell you.
Wait, let me break it down.
That the people came out and they voted for President Muhammadu Buhari.
Yep.
In 2019, Muhammadu Buhari do not have a standard, permit me to use that word, contendant. Now, when it comes to the place of obedience that we're talking about, Peter Obi, everything it tells you, it will tell you, go and verify. We have verification, we have clarification, and any other kind of occasion, we have it. This is a man that the so-called lazy youths, this is the man that they adopted. And then they came out in their numbers, and then they set the record straight. We understand that some lawyers are liars. Even some pastors are persecutors. But that does not create a yardstick for you not to believe in the judicial system, because this man has been a beneficiary of the Supreme Court.
And he said it severally.
And he said it at different points. So do not use
isolated situation.
Listen, I'm not using yesterday to judge today, but I'm telling you the current situation of the country. But the country is gone already. That's what you need to understand.
You are operating on the current.
It's not about the current.
But sometimes it's better to be correct.
No,
to be correct.
Maurice,
I wouldn't agree again.
Listen what I'm trying to say, right? Let's put it this way. Governorship election is different, claiming the mandate of governorship. But we are talking about the people that are in power.
Is the governor not in power? Is the question.
Supreme Court can say, okay, PDP, take over Ogun State or Osun State. Wait.
Do you want to take Osun State as an instance?
For instance, where, not even Osun State.
What's his name? Davido's Adeleke won. And
the Supreme Court.
I will not say won. Adeleke was declared the winner.
Yeah.
And then they went to the court, and the court says that Adeleke is not the winner. So that the other guy, what's his name?
The APC candidate.
The APC candidate.
Hold on, guys.
So that is
I don't want us to travel too much off tangent from, because if you want to discuss Nigeria, we'll go there to tomorrow. We are narrowing it down to the just concluded election.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think there are 3 bullet points. Number 1 is the winner, Tinubu, that was declared the winner on the platform of APC.
Not the winner.
Is it declared? Declared. No, I've chosen my words correctly. Declared the winner.
Declared the winner. Yeah.
2 is the issue of rigging infrastructure. Number 3 is.
We don't even call it rigging infrastructure. We call it rigmarole.
So, and 3 is the continuity, which is we are looking forward to
the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
Which there is none.
So
there is.
There
is a Supreme Court.
I want to ask you a question. What would you suggest is the right course of action, please?
So
if there's any wrong that has been done,
Atiku has gone to the streets.
It remains a speculation until it is proven. I understand the receipts online. I've seen the receipts too, so I know the realities. But the point is, before we can call it a fact, it needs to be proven. What would you say is the right course of action?
The right course of action now is let the people focus on the president-elect.
No.
Let me finish. Hold on. Let the people focus on the president-elect.
Yeah.
Let the youth put pressure on him to work.
Yeah.
We can do that.
Yeah.
Let's accept our fate that our system, the system is not working in our favor the way we want it.
Yep.
So now what I would advise Obi is, don't waste your money on judiciary because the judiciary is dead.
That is absolutely
Wait,
wrong.
Let him land.
That is
Let him land. No, this
Let me
is a
land.
civil discussion, so
Let me
we need to
land.
hear ourselves.
Don't waste your money on judicial system because the system is gone.
Okay.
If judiciary, the Supreme Court will acquit somebody and the government will say no, keep the person. I'm using the case of Nnamdi Kanu.
Yeah.
Then Nigeria is gone. There's no judiciary.
Fine.
So now,
Hold on,
what
let him
our
land.
advice again is as he's keeping his money, let him restructure again. Time is coming in Nigeria. What just happened in this election has proven to them that they can rig election, but it's becoming so obvious that time is coming when they can't rig anymore.
And you say
So
Nigeria
now-
is dead.
No, wait.
No,
Now,
no,
next
hold on.
election,
Are you
what will
saying Nigeria is
happen? What
dead?
will happen in next election is that if Nigeria come out in full force the way they came out now again, INEC cannot be able to rig that election
No,
again.
Fine.
It's wrong.
Let's hear Maurice. But before
No, that's what is gonna happen. But if
let's
Obi
hear
should
Maurice.
go to court, that's waste of money.
let us hear Maurice.
Are we going to bet it?
No.
Before we proceed, what I've just said is in
Yeah,
contradiction
you shoot yourself in the
to
leg.
what you said. Nigeria is not dead. If that is Nigeria is making progress.
Nigerian
Okay.
system, the
Now,
government
now,
So
is
let's
dead.
hear Maurice.
This is let me explain to you in a layman language what you are saying. You are saying that because a knife cut the child now, that we should throw the knife away.
You call it a knife cut a child. Mind you, it's only in Nigeria.
Yeah.
It's only in Nigeria a court can set someone free and the government will say no, keep the person.
No.
So now
So
you are
that is
saying,
what I'm
you are saying
explaining
just
to
because
you.
of one person. Yes,
A
today is
knife-
Nnamdi Kanu.
a knife
No,
cut a
today is
child.
Nnamdi Kanu
No.
case. Tomorrow it may be your case.
What-
You go
so-
to court
so-
and the government, the Supreme Court will
Okay.
set you free.
What
and
is
and the
your-
governor or the president will say no, keep you.
What is-
How would you feel?
what is your- what
Let
is
me
your
clarify.
buttress on Nnamdi Kanu?
Let me clarify now. And
Just before we continue, please, if you want clearer streaming quality and audio, log on to Hot Mike's Instagram page. It's Hot Mike's on Instagram. Catch it. Everybody's there. So just we did it. They wait for one.
I thought mine.
Shoot.
So join us and let's move on. Now let me clarify to you when you are saying that when I say that a knife cuts a child and you said that they should throw away the knife because it has cut a child.
I'm not saying they should throw away the knife.
No,
but what I'm
that's
saying
what
is
you are
Let him
saying.
talk.
You are saying that because it happened to Nnamdi Kanu, it means that we have lost hope. But what you also forgot to say that it happened to Peter Obi before, and it was reinstated. And it was corrected.
Let him
listen,
land.
that
Let him
is
land.
governorship.
Let him land.
No. The fact that you say that is okay, you are saying that is governorship. So what should we call the case of Peter Obi?
And mind you, when
That is
Peter
a case
Obi,
of agitation.
listen, mind you, when Peter Obi lost that gubernatorial election, when they took him out and they had to bring him back, there were people that went underground journey for him for that. He didn't just do it himself. And currently right now,
By underground.
there are people that went underground. Let me tell you, it's quite open.
The only underground I understand is street.
It's quite
Don't
open.
say that.
There's this man of God in
So it's the
in
man of
East.
God that went underground.
Wait, there's this man of God in East.
Then let people go.
Father,
underground.
wait now. There's this man of God in the East. He literally went underground, like did every job that brought Obi back, and he publicly said it.
What
I
kind of
said,
job? Spiritual
if,
job?
If it's not spiritual, every paperwork and everything that
And
the
then
court
let
has to
him
bring
go
it back.
underground again for
If
presidency.
it's wrong, let Obi say it's wrong, and Obi never said anything
Okay,
about
so what
it.
I want to tell you
And
is-
right now, they are not in good terms.
So hold on.
So there are people. It's not just something Obi will wake up and presidential. We are talking about presidential mandate,
We have taken
not
your
just
points.
gubernatorial
Okay,
mandate.
We have taken your point.
Point noted.
Let's
Point
hear.
noted.
Let's
Okay.
hear. So
Point
the thing is, hold
noted.
on.
Let me finish.
So the thing is, it's easier to hear each other in comprehension because if you cut people up in between what they're trying to say, you might have a different opinion eventually when you comprehend what they're trying to say.
Yes,
Okay.
So
comprehension
let's. I
matters.
want him to land.
Okay,
That's
land.
You
why
landed. I
even
get.
when you were writing your jam, you told you write a comprehensive letter to your uncle
So
telling
Maurice,
him that you miss
Maurice,
him.
I want you. What would you say? He has said what he believes
Yeah.
is supposed is
So-
the right course of action. What would you say is the
Okay.
right course of action, Maurice?
What me I would say is that at different occasions there have been times that the law did not favor some people.
Yeah.
And there have also been times that the law also favored some people. But the fact that there is a problem does not mean that we should not try at any point. Bible, even the Bible permits me to use the Bible. It said, "Shall we continue in sin that grace may abound?" And the request that the next statement was, "God forbid." So what am I trying to say? There's an issue on ground right now, and the best place that these people can seek redress to be addressed, so that you don't miss your address, is the courts.
Capish.
Okay.
Hold on. No. I have a position on both of what you guys have said, but we'll get to that.
That is what the law, according to section 24, subsection 4, verse 3 of the 1999 Constitution. Now, moving forward, this man, Atiku, has gone to the street to campaign. Now, there is no law, there is no mandate, there is no place in the Constitution that states that the amount of people that comes out to campaign can make any difference in the election.
Morris.
But if you go to the court, you allow a preceding judge that is called to the bar. When I say bar, I am talking of a bar, not bar when they sit
Can I
down
ask
to
you a question?
drink.
Can I ask you a question?
Sit down and drink for me.
Can I ask you a question?
Let me finish.
Can I ask you a
Not
question?
a bar where they sit down to drink pami.
Okay, can I ask you a question?
Now, this man has gone. Go on with your question.
Okay. The same power that was invested on INEC and they said, Nigeria, calm down, let INEC declare winner. Who did INEC declare?
Now,
No, who did they
do you
declare
want me
after
to answer
the
your question
voting? Wait
or not?
now, after the just is Tinubu, P2B or Atiku? Who did INEC declare?
Now let me answer your
Just Tinubu,
Now let me
P2B.
answer your question.
No, just
Who
no,
did
answer straight
INEC
so you can
No,
lie.
I will answer
So you
your
can make
question.
it
just straight.
No, you cannot answer a question.
No, just
that has
answer straight. I have
precedence.
another. I will add the
Your
question.
No, your question
Oh,
has
God.
preceding.
See.
Under section 165.
Forget about section. There's no section in Nigeria.
165,
Just answer the question.
Paragraph 2.
Forget
of
about section.
INEC Constitution. Now, there's a Nigerian Constitution.
Wait, hold on. You know this is a live show, right?
Yes.
So all this in your section you are quoting, people will go
You
and
can go
verify.
fact check me.
Wait, that's what I'm saying.
Fact check.
Wait, just answer. Who did INEC declare?
That is
Tinubu.
why
Tinubu,
need
thank
to
you.
give a
Okay,
preceding.
now thank you, Tinubu. Out of every Nigerian that came out, and it was quite obvious
So
that
do you
everybody
want me to
voted
give- no,
LP.
no.
So now INEC declared
No,
Tinubu.
you cannot answer Tinubu.
Now
you know why?
we are going to court, Supreme Court. Everybody is backing Obi. Don't be surprised. The Supreme Court judge will still
Okay,
favor
now let
Tinubu.
me
So
answer
let
your-
Don't be surprised
I have
with
a-
that.
I have
Let me
a
answer
position.
your question. Now let me answer your question because your question.
It's not about who won the election.
you
It's
are
about who
saying
they
that-
declared.
Do you know what happened? You know what you are just doing when you are asking the question you are asking is that there was an accident. Who is the person at fault? It doesn't work that way.
You know the problem with us, the obedient. I'm
You need to
obedient, but you know the
first
problem
of
with
all-
us.
No,
The problem with
no.
us is we don't want to accept
You
the
can be
truth.
obedient and not willing.
No.
There's a process to being obedient. The Bible says if you are willing and obedient, if you are obedient and you are not willing,
Listen,
it doesn't work together.
listen. We just don't want
You
to
must
accept
be
the
You
truth.
must be willing before you must be obedient. And what does it mean to be willing? To be willing in this context means that you understand what it takes. You understand the procedure. You understand the mandate. You have an understanding of the process before you become obedient.
Okay, so I have a position on what both of you have said. If you guys would allow me speak or you listen to me, I agree with you to some extent. I agree with you to some extent, and I also disagree with both of you to some certain extent.
Okay.
So I will start with the agreements.
Okay.
Agreements in the sense that, with you starting from you, which is, like it or not, the Supreme Court is the Supreme Court.
Okay.
The difference in this situation is that the whole world is watching. And it's not the same situation of everybody is just waiting to accept a certain result. The entirety Like, this is probably the first time in Nigerian democracy that the person who was declared the winner of the election, by the time you sum up the people who voted against him, they double the people who voted him in. So he already knows the work he has ahead of him. You understand? It's obvious already that no matter what it was, I know that there are speculations of the election turning out of the government turning out to be a mafia system of government, as people have said. I've heard these things, all these things. But the point is, the nomenclatures of the dynamics of how things are now cannot support that. Adjustment needs to be made on that front too. Hold on, so that you can understand me comprehensively. So, hold on.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do you actually know the main reason why they reversed the policy of currency, the exchange?
We'll get to that. That's a different discussion.
No, do you know the actual reason? It's part of this thing.
Yeah, but
the actual reason why they reversed that is for people to have access to money and start running their daily business and forget about what happened in the election. So they know the game they are playing.
It's a different conversation.
These people are not stupid.
No doubt about it. Look, hold on. No, hold on. No doubt about it. All right, we are not saying that the political cartels don't have their chest. Nigeria has been, ever since democracy, Nigeria has, every government seems to have taken some steps down from the previous. From Obasanjo to, he kept taking some way, somehow. It almost seems as if it's a process that every country's democracy has to go through before they find the balance. But the point is, where we are now, we're not going into robust discussions on the nitty-gritties of democratic evolution. Where we are now is, the Supreme Court is the Supreme Court. It is still the law. The difference between now and 2019 or 2015 or 2011 is the attention that the mobile class of society are paying to. By mobile class, I mean the educated people, the elites. It's the allies that will carry the illiterates along. Not the Gen Zs. The Gen Zs are just catching on for the first time. The people that are really, it's not the Gen Zs. It's people that are in my age group and within. It's not the Gen Zs. Those ones are just catching on. You get me? So that's my agreement with him, that the court is still the court. Understand that the difference is everybody's watching the result. My agreement with you is that regardless of the results that come out from the court, if the court comes out, even with all the evidence stacked against the court, I'm not going to say it's cast in stone, because they can still go to court and the court will overrule the election. It's not certainty until it's done. So I can't say for certain that the court is going to come and behave it. No, the court can come and actually examine all the evidence and decide. But should in case they don't, and they still continue with the status quo of the person that has been declared.
Okay.
What Nigerians need to do, as you have said, is to understand that you have another 4 years. You have started a chain reaction.
Another 4 years to suffer.
To suffer.
Hold on. But the truth is, listen, you have started a chain reaction. Let me tell you what Labour Party has become. Labour Party has become an identity. And Peter Obi has become the brand that is championing that identity. When I was saying, what I said earlier, that a lot of people are tensed up. A lot of people are on the edge now. A lot of emotions are high now. Every little thing now can spark up a fire. If the fire sparks up, who do you think is going to be blamed for it? As the moment now, the Obedience have the best record for conduct. They have the least, I'm not going to say none because everybody said everybody, but so far, we have the least proof or receipts of rigging. We have the least proof they have the least proof of thuggery. So they seem to have the most educated bunch. Hold on. That record is still clean. As it is. It's still clean. But immediately something sparks up and then the fight starts somewhere and it becomes whatever it is and people start to die. What do you think is going to happen to the image of Peter Obi? What do you think is going to happen to the legacy of Labour Party that is just starting to build? And this may be the gameplay for some other players that are in this political space. So are you going to fold your hands and let that happen? so that everything that has been built so far can come to ruins? No. I don't think that is in the best interest of Nigeria. That's just going to take everybody steps back.
Can I put my 2 cents?
So that's my agreement with both of you.
Can I put my 2 cents?
Yeah.
I don't disagree with you. I agree with what Maurice is saying, and I agree with what you, Titi, is saying.
Yeah.
But the fact is, in Nigeria, yes, go to court. There is Supreme Court waiting. Let the judge decide who the winner is. Bring your evidence. But now, let's do the mathematical analysis. PDP was in power in Nigeria for how many years? About 16 years. Now, APC entered power 8 years. What made you think that APC would just give out power like that without at least amounting to 16 years or 14? Like, it's too early for them to be like, let's dash out this power.
Those are political indices.
Wait, yes. Because you know what we are thinking now? We are thinking as Nigerians, we need our mandate. There is hope.
Yeah.
But now we are not thinking deep. What is the government? What is inside the government? What form are they operating from? But now, it's like I said before, a lot of things are going wrong in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Don't bring the word into it, because the word will not do anything. Even if the Supreme Court comes out and says Tinubu is still the president, they won't do anything. They're already congratulating Tinubu.
Yeah.
Now, look at what's going to happen. Like I said, a lot of things are going wrong. Only in Nigeria, people will suffer to make money and still suffer sleeping in the bank to beg for their money. It's only in Nigeria. It's only in Nigeria that the Supreme Court will set someone free and somebody will say, no, keep the person. It's only in Nigeria that all of this is happening and you still say there is hope in the government. No. Now, what they are doing is they are literally working for themselves. APC, they put the Supreme Court judge as APC member. So now, what do you expect? For him to go there and rule in favor of LP. Mind you, LP came third in the election. So they're not even second. PDP is there fighting.
I have a contribution.
I have a question.
I have a contribution to that. Number one, you said LP came third in the election.
As declared by INEC.
As declared by INEC. Which is correct.
And they knew what they did. If eventually Supreme Court should rule anything, it will be to rerun the election.
For first and
second, which is PDP and APC.
No.
LP is out of it.
No,
that's what's going to happen.
That's wrong.
If Supreme Court should rule, they'll rule for a rerun because APC did not meet up to Abuja percent. Now, they only ruled out LP. They have their ways. Because they're not even supposed to come third. They're supposed to come second.
No, that's one thing.
So now, if they rerun, APC will still win.
Okay, now let me.
They're playing games with Nigerians.
Let me give you a clearer version of that. Number one, if you are saying what you are saying now, you are operating on the fact that you are operating on the result that is on ground.
That is what the government.
Labour Party is not. No, Labour Party is not going to court to prove to you on the result that is on ground.
They are going to go to challenge the result.
Challenge the result.
So I hope you understand what he's talking about.
So it's two things. It's one thing to prove. It's another thing to challenge.
It's not the rerun.
It's not the rerun that matters.
Now,
so
they are going to court to challenge the result.
Welcome back to the show. Hot mics, hot conversations. As it is hot, Maurice and Emmanuel are going to chew each other's ears off.
Maurice, they sing LOP.
No, Emmanuel is a member of how do they call it when another party plays somebody in your party? No. You are a member of a syndicate.
I'm quite obedient. But out of all these things, wait till they pay me pass, not be even the presidential election.
Oh yeah.
Wait till they pay me pass is the issue of Banky W.
Oh yeah.
Now that one they pay me pass.
Oh yeah.
Listen, this guy really worked hard for this election. He did his campaign. He went out there, spent money.
Yeah.
and then someone from nowhere that didn't even do campaign, I didn't hear about him.
Yeah.
Probably he was sleeping. They called him on the phone. Guy, you won. Oh. You don't win. No, probably that's what happened. Because I'm sure he was not expecting to win because he did not campaign. So now somebody that campaigned. And the reason that happened was because people are mad with PDP. People are tired with PDP and APC. So now everybody pressing, voting, they are just voting LP, president, senate,
LP.
And
It's not
that's
LP.
what affected.
It's not MP.
Please,
LP.
you people should be very careful on this show.
Affected
Before they will think LP is the one that is sponsoring it. Be very careful.
And that's what affected Banky W. And that's a problem because now people are no longer voting candidates. They are voting for party, and that's not what it's supposed to be. There are still good people that are out there in APC. There are still good people out there in PDP, and there are good people out there in LP. So now,
Emmanuel.
why are you then just
Emmanuel.
pressing
Emmanuel.
LP? Now, this is what's going to happen in gubernatorial and House of Assembly. They will start
Emmanuel.
pressing LP again, and it will affect good people that we have in other parties.
If you read the book of Hebrews chapter 11 and verse 1,
Under constitution, what?
it says that now faith is the substance of things hoped for, evidence of things not seen.
I don't know how
Now,
you know Bible like this
what
because I haven't
is
seen
the-
a church before.
See, there's a very tiny line between faith and grace. Now, what is grace? Grace is unmerited favor. Now, how does unmerited favor comes into this matter? Because that was what happened to the LP guy. What he experienced was unmerited favor. There are three kinds of bank. There is money bank, there is power bank, and there is Banky W.
So you're saying that what happened to Banky W is okay. That is just nature.
I'm not saying it's okay. What I am saying is that when grace commands a man, you do not need to demand.
Forget
respect.
about grace. This has
Okay.
nothing to do with grace. This is out of
There's a
frustration.
grace
that
that-
Nigeria voted.
Can I-
for that guy.
Can I give my 2
Forget
Forget
cents?
about grace. This is out of frustration.
No.
They voted him.
There is a
People
grace
are tired
that
of PDP and APC.
No, see.
If
see.
Banky is in LP, you won't
Wait.
tell me that he will not
Okay,
win.
yeah,
Because
wait,
people
let
are
me
just
tell you.
voting LP.
Now,
LP.
let me tell you something.
So
See.
don't worry about grace.
Now,
There's nothing grace
there
has to do
is
with
a
it.
grace that the man that carries the mandate. It is not coincidental that the word mandate begin with a man. There is a grace that a man that carries the mandate, which is Peter Obi, carries. That when that grace falls upon you, it doesn't matter what the matter is. When it matters, you will matter.
Okay, before we go into idiomatic expressions and end up,
Someone don't know.
I'm only sure you can't himself will be wondering what's going on here. Let me just give my 2 cents on the banking matter, and then we can call it a show for today. Well, there's so much, we've had so much fun already, and we can't do it all in one day. So, in my opinion, I would say that you have to take it to the chin, unfortunately, because for lack of a better expression, I would say in this situation, Banky W was collateral damage.
Exactly.
So, and
When you do not pay
no, hold
your
on.
homage,
Hold
what
on,
you experience
because
is damage.
and I will not agree with you that the Labour Party candidate did not campaign. He just his campaign could not have overshadowed Banky W's campaign.
Yes.
But as you rightly said, the merit that the winner is enjoying is the overwhelming voting for Labour Party across board.
Yes.
Everybody just goes to the polling booth. They don't check which is presidential, or they just, once they see Labour Party, they are just pressing away.
And
But the thing, hold on, where I'm getting somewhere with this, and this guy, we're only talking about Banky W because he's popular.
yes.
There are other states that have this same occurrence, but they are not popular people that we know, and the people that they have. We have Labour Party candidates that have come from nothing to dethrone sitting governors from senatorial election.
And you
So-
cannot harbor
So,
what you did not
so the thing is, what it has done is, that's what I was saying. The door has been opened.
Yeah.
We have about 40 people from Labour Party in decision-making positions of government, and the responsibility now is to understand that they cannot under-deliver. because there are people that are there waiting to say that their inexperience is what has got made the, they have to be prepared for the task ahead, or else they would be the catalyst for the downfall of the party. Everybody from Labour Party that has made any nomination in any political office, I congratulate you. But understand the task you have ahead of you. You cannot fail. You must deliver. So Banky W, I saw his video earlier today, and he took it in the chin. That's a man. He took it boldly. Like, it is what it is. So
let me quickly tell you something.
Yeah.
You see, I will refer back to the Bible. And
look, it's not a biblical show, bro.
No.
Go and open Sunday school.
No, it's not a biblical show, but you need to. There are some things that are visible to the blind and audible to the deaf. There are some things that has happened before. Now, there was a time that the disciples of Jesus Christ, the Bible said that when the people saw them, just looking at them, they did not have an encounter with them. When the people saw them by the brightness and their intelligence, they said one thing. They said they must have been with Jesus. So the fact that you identify with the currents, you understand? The fact that you identify with the currents, people will classify you into the current.
In other words, Peter Obi is the brand that is championing Labour Party. Agreed. But above all of that, if you have been elected into position on the platform of Labour Party, you cannot fail.
Yes.
You cannot fail. You have become the balance for others who
they are still owing balance.
because now everybody will sit tight. Like he said earlier, everybody will sit tight. From the presidency down, it's not going to be business as usual.
Yeah.
Everybody will sit tight.
The youths have taken
because
over.
The most important thing is, and the youth cannot afford to lose this thing. You cannot afford to allow tribal or religious sentiments to creep in.
Yeah.
The same way I know obedience that are Christians, Muslims, and they put all of that aside and voted Peter Obi. They need to maintain that same energy, because the minute you allow any division to come into it, the entirety of the train is broken.
And for the case of Desmond Elliott, see.
Oh my days.
Sorry, permit me to go back to where I draw my wisdom from, which is the Bible. He said, concerning the sons of Issachar, they understand times and season.
Issachar is not Christian. Issachar is the Islamic.
No. When they say they understand, wait.
We got to call it a show today.
I want to quickly clarify something. He said, concerning the sons of Issachar, they understand times and season. It does not matter whether Issachar is a Christian or a Muslim, but understanding times and season. When you understand the trend, you will trend.
Capiche? So on this note, we have had, thank you. You continue the rest of your proverb in the next episode. So, my brother, any final words before we close it down?
I think we should end with this question and maybe allow the viewers to air their own opinion.
Yeah. Do
you think that if Banky should go to court, there is a chance for him?
No, he will cut himself.
It's not, the question is not for you, it's for the viewers. Views.
If Banky goes to court, he will cut himself.
Banky does not want to go to court anyway. I watched his but like I said, that's a man that understands that.
Did you watch him at the service? Did you watch him at the service today? He gave today was supposed to be Thanksgiving service in the church, and then he said, myself and my wife, we already planned that we are going to start looking for a house in Abuja, and then we are going to give Thanksgiving today that we are moving to Abuja.
It's really
but
sad.
That is what draws me back to the sons of Issachar. Times and seasons. See, you cannot understand what progression is and remain in retrogression.
Look, at the time,
we'll continue with your progression
in the next episode. Thank you.
And migration and redirection
and amalgamation in the next episode.
Overall, what I'm trying to advise overall is that we have new Nigeria.
Who
is Tinubu? Wait.
Tinubu is
where is it now? We have new Nigeria. Who is Tinubu? The government all of a sudden is hearing the people again, which is the people are crying for currency exchange, and now they brought back the use of old currency, which is now sending a message to every Nigerian that go back to your usual business. That is literally what the government is telling us now. Go back to your usual. They knew that if they distract us and election, people will pay attention to the Supreme Court. Now they are pulling back the old naira so people can go back and face their business and not pay attention to what is happening in Supreme Court. With that being said, I will advise everybody, go back to your business. Focus in your own life. Don't let the government.
No, you are done for today. No, you are done for today.
Listen,
you are done. You are done for today. You will draw it. You will draw it in the next. If you like, draw by ear in the next episode.
No, I'm not giving any objection or interjection, or neither am I trying to overrule. I just want to draw your attention to something. Emmanuel said, "I am now telling Nigerians to go back to your former life."
I'm not saying former life.
That is to tell you that the Supreme Court has overruled. The same Supreme Court that he told you earlier that he does not have the belief in. Now, at the end of it all, did the Supreme Court prevail or not?
So please don't answer that question. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your very valid opinion. As far as I'm concerned, what is transpiring here is also what is transpiring outside, which is the youths are getting disunited over positions. So please, I want everybody to please remember one thing: don't kill yourself over politics. Don't fight your brother over politics. If you had disagreements with your brother or your friend because of varying positions, now is the time to stay united. It is done. It's done. Let the Lord take his course. Don't fight your brother. Don't become your brother's enemy. All right, and let's keep it one. As we look forward to the gubernatorial elections that are going to be happening next week.
On Saturday.
Maybe another cream kaka. Another cream kaka. I don't know if it is LP or if it is PDP or
Jandor.
Well, whoever wins, let the best man for Nigeria win across board. All right.
Don't vote for party, vote for personality.
Agreed.
Don't vote for party. Stop LP everywhere.
Agreed.
I'm obedient, but stop.
Agreed.
Will not move Nigeria.
Agreed.
There are criminals that will hide behind LP.
Yes, and
so
before you vote for
they pay me still.
Before you vote for a person, look for his personality.
All right.
Because some people are pessimistic.
Very well. On this note, we call it a day on this episode of Hot Mics. I hope you